Good evening. Welcome to the Buck Stops here. I'm Vishnu Shoma. On the program this evening, a day after Narendra Modi's massive roadshow in Varanasi, the political tremors are still being felt. Lots of political reactions. We look at the cult of Modi and ask if the Modi tsunami has seriously rattled other parties. Also coming up, another day for Priyanka Gandhi to be combative out on the election trail. Is it, however, too little and too late for the Congress party? On the program, is a more combative Priyanka the shot in the arm that the Congress party needs this election campaign? But first, our top story. Those close to the BJP say 3 lakh people showed up at Narendra Modi's massive roadshow in Varanasi yesterday as he went to file his nomination papers. The BSP, which finds itself hard-pressed to deny the number, says many of those who came were brought in from outside and weren't authentic supporters. But one way or the other, the impact of yesterday's roadshow is being felt far and wide, despite what parties like the Congress may want to believe.
Narendra Modi's massive roadshow in Varanasi is still causing tremors a day later.
अपने रोड शो को उन्होंने जिस तरीके से किया है वो निंदनीय है.
Today the Congress tried to downplay Makkan's charges that there was a communal tinge to the road show, with Modi garlanding the statues of Madan Mohan Malviya, Swami Vivekananda and Sardar Patel.
It was not just a road show. It was a road show by Mr. Modi showing his complete commitment towards a religion, and it was for a religion and for a party which is committed towards a particular religion.
Instead, it attacked Modi for invoking Buddha in his rally.
Nothing can be more communal than what he has said in his letter. And nothing can be more misguiding people. I mean, he is talking about Gautam Buddha.
Malviya was a great Congress leader, a great national leader. There is nothing religious about it. It is about nationalism.
Another attack were all those who thronged Modi's motorcade as he made his way to file his nomination. Authentic supporters. The BSP says no.
इन्होंने जो कल रोड शो भी किया है, तो उसके बारे में हमें ये भी जानकारी मिली है कि उसमें ज्यादातर भीड़ बनारस के बाहर की ही थी. तो ये सब अपने देश के लोकतंत्र की गरिमा के लिए ठीक नहीं हो रहा है.
The BJP says Varanasi was the ultimate expression of the Modi wave, a genuine indicator of the support their prime ministerial candidate enjoys.
ये काशी की जनता का बहुत बड़ा अपमान है अगर ये कहा जा रहा है कि वो खरीद कर या प्रायोजित रूप से लाएगा.
But in the battle for public space, political parties continue to target each other, hoping to make an impact on voters in the remaining 194 seats. With Bureau Input, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
All right, so the BJP banking on what Amit Shah referred to as the Modi tsunami. Has this rattled other political parties? Is there more rhetoric and less substance in the Modi wave that we are looking at it at the moment? Well, joining us to debate all of this, Prakash Javadekar, senior spokesperson of the BJP, C.R. Keshavan, spokesperson of the Congress, Professor Anand Kumar, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Remember, Arvind Kejriwal is contesting against Mr. Modi. Zafar Sareshwala, CEO of Parsoli Motorworks, someone who follows Narendra Modi very, very closely. Sudhindra Kulkarni, the columnist and social activist, and Dr. Radha Kumar, historian and author. Thank you all very much for joining us. Mr. Javadekar, let me come to you first. A lot of people would say after yesterday, what the BJP has been trying to do to convert this election campaign into a presidential style campaign is complete. Because if you look at what all those supporters who turned out yesterday had come out to do, you know, there was no big speech on development. there was no big speech on a certain agenda. They were curious about Narendra Modi. Isn't this what the BJP had always wanted, to convert this into a presidential style of campaign?
What is the objection?
I'm not saying it's an objection.
So the issue is that people are thronging to BJP rallies. Media is giving live coverage. Media is not covering flop shows. Media is covering hit shows. And therefore, Congress is upset. Mayawati is upset. Mulayam is not even speaking. He is so upset. So that shows frustration, desperation and exasperation of all these parties. What else can they do? Will they say that this is, yes, popularity of Modi and he will be the Prime Minister? They will not say till 16th evening. So they will have to say on that day. But fact remains that people in the country are giving a decisive mandate for a decisive leadership, because complete absence of leadership is what hurt India for last 10 years. And now people want faster progress, good governance, freedom from price rise and freedom from unemployment. And that's where his constituency is there. And first time in the history of elections, poverty and backward plank both have come to BJP. So Congress needs to introspect on that, but that we'll discuss on 16th. Today the issue is people all over the country, 10% rise in vote. And on 9th March, when the Election Commission gave a last opportunity to register unregistered voters, 1 crore people registered in one single day.
So you believe it's a vote for change?
It's a terrific, yes, it's a vote for change, definitely.
Okay.
And affirmative vote for a decisive mandate, for a stable government, for a working government, and that is what was displayed spontaneously on the roads of
But
Varanasi.
let me ask C.R. Keshavan, national spokesperson of the Congress. Mr. Keshavan, yesterday everybody was speaking only about Narendra Modi. Nobody was speaking about the agenda of the BJP. It seemed to be on the backseat completely. And Mr. Javadekar makes the point, what is necessarily wrong with that if people had turned up to be interested only in Narendra Modi? That doesn't take away from the BJP's agenda. Would you accept, therefore, that the cult of Modi is what is defining this election?
That is very, very good for the Congress, because the cult of Modi is going to be a self-defeating hit wicket for the BJP. You know, you talked about tsunami, Mr. Amit Shah said, you know, how happily he put it. No tsunami is progressive, every tsunami is destructive. And this is what exactly, you know, the personality-centric leadership Mr. Modi ji is going to do for BJP. And let me tell you why. You know, you talked about other parties being rattled. If the situation is really as Javadekar ji put it, why did Modi ji on April 21 in Firozabad attack the Election Commission? You should very clearly see what he said. He said, he warned, I will investigate the Election Commission to see whether there is a free and fair poll. Modi ji said, I'll put video cameras in every booth and after the election, I'll set up an inquiry. How can you attack the Election Commission if you think you're coasting to victory? The reason, you know, Vishnu, is BJP has become very nervous because their so touted development model has failed. People have seen that they've been exposed. Second thing is, you know, their divisive agenda which was hidden has come to the fore with the likes of, you know, Togadia, you know, Giriraj and, you know, Mr. Kadam. And third, they are feeling that, you know, they've hit a self wicket and, you know, hit wicket and they're going to lose, which is why they're panicking.
No, I don't understand. What is the hit wicket?
About, you know,
what is the hit wicket? They had lakhs of people, I'm told, out there yesterday.
See, you know, they talked.
Where is the hit wicket?
Not at all. See, please don't go by crowds. You know, history has shown, don't go by crowds. The hit wicket is this. And give me a minute to explain. They talked about development. Their own state health department in Gujarat has said 1.9 crores, 38 lakh families are under poverty of 7 rupees and 11. That's a hit wicket. Second thing, they talked about accountability. They said every penny for penny. 32 police officers, IPS officers, for lack of accountability are in jails. Police officers who carried the instructions of Gujarat. And accountability is that the Gujarat government, until the Supreme Court intervened, never appointed the local.
You know, Mr. Keshavan, you raise important points. I'm sure Mr. Javadekar would like to come in on that. But I want to spend some more time discussing the Modi factor. And I want to go across to Professor Anand Kumar of the Aam Aadmi Party. Professor Kumar, irrespective of whether some parties may feel that, look, the BJP brought in supporters from outside, the fact of the matter is there was a large number of people, a huge number of people, and there's a big controversy on how many people they may be, but we are told it's in the lakhs, many of whom were people on buildings. They were looking and seeing the presence of Narendra Modi. When you have Arvind Kejriwal contesting against him, in a sense, is it a lost cause if you look at what happened yesterday?
What happened yesterday was certainly a political tsunami backed by a well-financed campaign with a lot of money for food and fun and of course transportation. It has destroyed the political strategy of Congress Party, Samajwadi Party, Bahujan Samaj Party, and of course the organizational architecture of Bharatiya Janata Party itself. You did not have any of the MLAs which were there for last 6-7 terms from BJP. Shri Rajnath Singh ji was missing. Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi, the present member of parliament, was absent in such an unceremonious manner. There was no talk about BJP. Shri Modi has taken over Bharatiya Janata Party in a very personalized manner.
And what is necessarily wrong with that? What is wrong with that,
It is wrong because Bharatiya Janata Party was an organizational party. It was not like Shri Congress of Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi around one person, one family. Now it is reduced to the whims and fancies of one person, which is very dangerous, as we know about Srimati Indira Gandhi's Congress during emergency years. And it has helped us to emerge as a party with grassroots connection and with modest means, with mass approach and an alternative political culture.
Let me just go across to Mr. Javadekar first and then my other panelists. Go ahead, Mr. Javadekar, you wanted to respond.
See, this is not a personality cult. He symbolizes good governance. He symbolizes hope of the nation. And on the backdrop, as I told you, complete bankruptcy of Congress.
No, but Mr. Javadekar, how do you deny that it is a personality cult?
No, that is what I am explaining. Just give me 30 seconds. See, this is the whole organization is galvanized at the booth level throughout the country, and you see masses coming on their own everywhere, wherever he is going, and it's a tremendous response, historical response. Something different is happening in this country. I will tell you 2 TV shows which went, one in Mayawati's own village, means a very 100% Mayawati voting village.
Yes.
Suddenly after 15 minutes of a very big anchor, and everybody started saying that for Lok Sabha we are voting Modi. So for Chote Chunav, Behan ji, for Chote Chunav, Akhilesh, Bade Chunav, Modi ji. ये फिनोमेना केवल उत्तर प्रदेश में नहीं है, सब जगह है, और इसलिए हम मानते हैं, what we are saying is that this is happening historically. It's more than 77.
Okay.
And you will see Vishnu reflected into, because it is complete decimation of Congress.
Okay, okay, complete. Mr. Keshavan, quickly come in on that, because I really must go across to my other panelists. Mr. Keshavan, you wanted to reply to that specific point. Go ahead.
Vishnu, I think, it's, they are living in a delusional world. And, the thing is, what is making them worry and become nervous is the divisive agenda has come out. And, today, and I heard Javadekar ji say on TV, it's about nationalism and not, religious. I just want to ask one question to Javadekar ji. Modi ji always talks about nation first, and that is the facade in which the BJP is going to this election. Look at the manifesto. On page 39, it says, on foreign relations, it says nation first and universal brotherhood. But on the last line, Vishnu, it says, India shall remain a natural home for persecuted Hindus, and they shall be welcome to seek refuge here. Why can't it be persecuted Indians? See, this is the divisive agenda which is coaxed. They are trying to, use a smokescreen of nationalism, which is not the case. And that is why I am saying they are polarizing this country on religious lines, and they want to mobilize by polarization, which will not work because this is alien to the culture of India.
See,
No, one more, sir. I'll come back to this point. I'll come back to this point. We've got enough time because I want to discuss this alleged communal agenda in a little while from now. But I want to go across at this stage to my other panelists as well. So, Sudhindra Kulkarni, let me just read out to you a quote of Narendra Modi from a recent rally of his. God chooses certain individuals to do certain difficult work. I believe God has chosen me for this work. Now I need your blessings. Yesterday he said, I feel BJP hasn't sent me to Varanasi, Ma Ganga has invited me. I feel like a boy who comes back to his mother. Modi in a sense is building up his own cult, the image of Modi. This is about him. How is this in a sense a fundamental difference to the way the BJP has always been?
No, we are certainly seeing a very different kind of BJP and a very different kind of BJP's election campaign. This is the most personalized election campaign in the history of the party. Not even at the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji declared as the Prime Minister candidate, that is 1996, 98, 99, had we seen such a strongly and exclusively one-person oriented campaign. Of course, it's going to yield dividends to the party because the country certainly is on the brink of change. The people want change of government, and the manner in which the BJP has mounted this campaign is going to help the party. What it will do to the party organization after the elections is another matter.
Okay, that's an interesting point. What it will do to the BJP post the election scenario? What are you trying to say there? Because you abruptly ended your statement. Are you saying that Mr. Modi's presence effectively changes the structure of the party, given the fact that so many top leaders of the BJP have already been sidelined?
You know, if you see the history of the BJP and earlier of the Bharatiya Janata Sangh, which was established in 1951, this party, you know, always has a certain collegiate style of functioning.
Okay.
You know, over the years, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji emerged as the tallest leader. You know, his was the last word, but he was also a team leader. Now, what we are seeing is a very different kind of party. Now, we have to see how Modi, you know, if he's indeed elected as the head of the next government, how he functions as the Prime Minister, and how under his premiership the party is transformed. But all indications are that the party will now be transformed in his image, and what it will do to the internal organizational cohesion as well as the ethos of the BJP is yet to be seen.
Yeah. Dr. Radha Kumar, one of the slogans which have emerged in this campaign for the BJP is Har Har Modi, Ghar Ghar Modi. In fact, initially Narendra Modi himself, I'm told, didn't want this to happen because it was perhaps personalizing the campaign too much. But it's emerged again, I'm told, a few days back in Darbhanga. It started again, and apparently spontaneously. Have you ever heard of any political campaign in India which is as strongly personalized as this?
Well, I think there are 2 points involved in the personalization issue. It is not the case that we have not before this had elections fought behind the persona of a single leader. If you remember the early elections, it was known that, Jawaharlal Nehru would be the Prime Minister, and he was both loved as Chacha Nehru, and it was around his personality that the Congress platform and the political and values part of the Congress program was built. The difference with Mr. Modi perhaps is that while you have a huge projection of his personality, there is not much of a program or a platform that goes along with it. And his appeals tend to be appeals to sentiment which can be volatile as well as inflammatory, rather than to a program for the country. And that is ironic actually, because the way that people are speaking about voting for him, they are talking about development, infrastructure, growth. And he could have made that a much more important plank than this other very emotional, Ma Ganga has called me, God has spoken to me. I mean, come on, you know, that's really overdoing who you are. You are not in a position to say those things about yourself, I would say. The second point I'd like to make is in reference to your earlier points about a tsunami.
Yes.
You know, this may be the first time that Banaras has had a prime ministerial candidate actually standing from Banaras. You would expect large crowds to come just because it is a prime ministerial candidate who is standing there. That is not, by the way, to disagree with pollster opinion or analyst opinion on what this vote is likely to yield. But I would say one should not confuse apples and oranges.
3 lakh people for a road show, Dr. Kumar? 3 lakh people for a road show. Isn't that something out of the ordinary, even if it is a prime ministerial candidate?
You know, if you try to remember, Nehru would have had more than 3 lakh people. So would Sardar Patel, for that matter, not standing as a prime minister but standing as an MP. And I would imagine my recollection of the elections of the 1980, early 80s was Indira Gandhi, and 60s was that Indira Gandhi commanded huge numbers of people.
The only difference was those were rallies. This was a road show. People were thronging around his vehicle. Be that as it may, Zafar Sareshwala, a lot of people watching out for Narendra Modi, those with a lot of expectation, say it is exactly this image of him being an individual strong leader which they support because they're tired of too many voices. They want a strong, decisive leader to perhaps guide the economy.
Yeah, exactly, Vishnu. It is very unfair when people call Narendra Modi dictatorial. I have had connections with him, dealt with him for almost 11 years now. He's a very good listener. He listens to everybody and he's very decisive. You know, Vishnu, in our whole this democratic setup, you need a time when your leader has to make a decision. At the time of making decision, you don't need to have to be consensus. You hear out to everybody and then you have to have a leader who makes a final decision. That is exactly which is paralyzing our country today. You have a prime minister who doesn't take a decision. So this is paralysis of decision making and paralysis of policy. So Narendra Modi has come out as somebody who takes decisions. Now decisions could be wrong or right. You know, and coming to your earlier point, presidential or not presidential, it is always based on one man. You know, one man leads to wherever it leads to. You know, earlier you see Mahatma Gandhi or Gautam Buddha or many leaders, they were individuals. And one individual leads to one success. So you cannot have collective leadership is there. Okay. Everybody puts their inputs. But that is one man who has to take decision and the buck stops with him. And that is the way Modi has dealt himself. And this is actually the reflection of Modi, the way he has dealt himself in last 12 years.
Okay, C.R. Keshwan disagrees with that point.
Gujarat has grown. The growth has been inclusive. The growth has been inclusive. Listen to me, please. The growth has been inclusive. It was community neutral. Okay. And if this way, the way he has dealt in Gujarat in last 12 years, you know, we had all kinds of natural disasters, the riot, and there was hardly any.
So you're talking about the Gujarat model of development which the BJP wants to
for last so many years.
Sort of have
if he has dealt in the way he has dealt Gujarat, I think it would be very apt for a man like him to lead the country.
Okay, C.R. Keshwan, go ahead.
Vishnu, 2 points. One, I'll first come back to the Modi cult and then address the policy paralysis. See, when you talk about Modi ji's cult, see, the issue is you see how this ascension has happened. There has been so much discord. There has been so much dissension, take it right from Advani ji or Murli Manohar Joshi ji or Jaswant ji, even Yashwant Sinha, when the Uttarakhand, tragedy happened, when Mr. Modi ji, like a Rambo said, he's rescued 15,000 Gujaratis. He said a national leader, if one aspires to be, shouldn't be parochial and talk about one state. So there has been a lot of division and a lot of unrest in the BJP, and that is because the RSS has played a very strong role in foisting Mr. Modi as its candidate. And the agenda of the BJP is the RSS. That is the smoke screen. They use a smoke screen of development, but the real agenda is that, and they're just using Modi ji as the center, and that is the issue. And let me come back to this, web of lies. You talk about policy paralysis. I just want to say this, and this is also a strategy of Narendra Modi ji. In 2 days before in Jamnagar in Gujarat, Modi ji said, that's where he talked about the penny to penny thing, I think the EC is going to ask paisa to paisa what the BJP has spent on this campaign, but to address this issue, he said, all the brass units have been closed down because of the policy paralysis of the center. He said that, you please check his speech. Immediately that evening, the Factory Association President of Jamnagar, Mr. Rajni Patel said, 70% of the factories are brass units. They grow by 5 to 6% every year. There are 5,000 brass units. Yes. And the UP has helped us a lot, but the state government hasn't helped us. See, this is a web of lie. And this is what they're trying to spin. And I think the people are seeing this through, and which is why the BJP is panicking. And they feel that, by projecting Modi ji, more of rancor and discord has come about within the party and outside when you see these fringe elements coming to the fore. So I think this, NDA is a nationally doomed alliance headed by the divided ship of BJP. And they're going to be humbled by the electorate of India in this election.
Mr. Javadekar, how do you respond to that?
I can understand. No, it's very simple. I can understand to what extent Congress is disturbed and how they have lost sense of proportion on many occasions. That's always 1 minute. Now I am commenting. The issue here is why this craze? This is not a thrust leadership. This is leadership emerged out of public aspiration. And two things I want to say again. What has changed? I must thank Manishankar Iyer for his tea boy chai wala comment. It helped us to connect with all unorganized labor, because everybody who earns daily wages through his hard work was insulted by Congress. Over the years, poverty plank was always with the Congress. This time is decisively with the BJP. The backward plank has also come to BJP, and people, disadvantaged groups, are not with Congress as they earlier used to be, or with any other party. So this is a basic change in the Indian political scenario which has come. And a new phrase which is very important. छोटे चुनाव में बहन जी, बड़े चुनाव में मोदी जी. छोटे चुनाव में अखिलेश भैया, बड़े चुनाव में मोदी जी. छोटे चुनाव में ममता, बड़े चुनाव में मोदी जी. तो ये क्या हुआ? This is what is happening all over, and this is the reflection of aspirations of poor people. Everybody wants education and progress. For the first time in many decades, people are looking beyond the caste. People are looking beyond religion and want good governance, because this is 21st century's India. Aspiration of youth from all caste and religion are the same. And we are talking about jobs, jobs and jobs. We are putting up, why people are objecting? Ganga Maiya ka bulawa aaya. This is anybody who visits Vaishno Devi, 1 minute. Anybody visits Vaishno Devi always says that Vaishno Devi ka bulawa aaya. Tab tak nahi jana hota. Tirupati also you have the same feeling. At any religious place where a devout person goes, he will have that feeling. And he said child and mother. What more emotional or what more from the heart? It can be an expression.
I think the point that Mr. Javadekar is making, it's an important point. He basically is making the point that all these statements or efforts to say that there was some sort of a hidden communal agenda in terms of what Mr. Modi said yesterday, it's not true. He was being genuine. He was overwhelmed in a sense by the support that he had. I've still failed to understand why the Congress necessarily feels that there was an underlying tone over there. Could you please clarify, Mr. Keshavan?
Not at all.
No, just
Vishnu, I'm not looking at the rally alone. I'm just looking at their agenda. No, you look at the manifesto. I want to say two things about the manifesto. See, BJP has the most dubious distinction of being the only party which will go down in infamy as releasing the manifesto after the people started voting in Assam and Tripura. And you see the manifesto. So what? You have items like Article 370. You have Uniform Civil Code. You have the Ram Mandir. And when you talk about development, this is a common refrain which comes. BJP says, the Congress party doesn't talk about development. Speak about development. Srimati Priyanka Gandhi today asked about development. She talked about the farmers.
We'll come to what Priyanka said a little later on.
In the country. She talked, sir, let me complete, sir. No, I'm saying this, Vishnu. Why didn't they answer that? Why are they indulging in personal barbs? Why can't they talk about what they have done in Gujarat as a model which they want to replicate? Why are they shying away? Because there is nothing to show. They talk about, they talk about empowering women. And there is a Snoop Gate scandal where the Gujarat government has filed an affidavit. And you talk about women, there are 55% anorexic women. When Modi ji was asked about it, he said they are beauty conscious. Where is the development agenda? That is why I am saying it is that the smoke screen is of development and the hidden agenda is the mask of polarizing the country, and that is what is coming out, and that is why the BJP is nervous. And I still not have got an answer for that manifesto on page 40 where they talk about persecuted Hindus and not about persecuted Indians. Okay. If you talk about nation first, it has to be about persecuted Indians.
He wants to answer that. Mr. Javadekar, go ahead. Briefly, I want to go across to my other panelists as we wrap this up. Go ahead.
I'll just one sentences. The manifesto is very clear. India is for Indians and Indians are always welcome. The issue is persecuted Hindus in the globe, like Uganda situation. 1 minute. They are staying there for 300 years. They are Hindu by birth, but they are Uganda citizens. They are not Indian citizens. But such persecuted Hindus, where they will go? Tell me, which is the country? So if they have any business connection elsewhere, they will go.
There are so many.
Otherwise, people will come and you can ensure what is wrong in it.
He's giving you an important clarification over here.
Vishnu.
And second,
Vishnu, why can't you say persecuted?
About 370, 1 minute.
Are being persecuted belonging to various religious communities?
1 minute. 1 minute. See, Article 370.
Please, sir, go ahead. Go ahead,
Nehruji was saying always that it's a transient provision. And we have taken a debate to a new level. We are asking, discuss whether 370, why there is no RTI because of 370. Why there is no representation to women, reservation to women because of 370? Why there is no backward class reservation because of 370? Whether this has benefited the common man or not. So it's a valid debate. The common
Javadekar ji should read the 370 of the BJP manifesto.
No, that is what I am saying.
No, sir, I need to interject, sir. Sir, if you see a manifesto, you say you will have consultations, but the last line is we are committed to abrogation. If you are committed to abrogation, why are you farcical?
Okay, I don't want to make this into a Congress versus BJP debate. I've got other panelists. Professor Anand Kumar has been waiting patiently. Go ahead, sir.
Well, we have written a letter to Shri Narendra Modi on behalf of the party about 17 issues regarding Gujarat model. One of them was its ranking in the country. It is the 16th province in a community of 29 provinces. And it is certainly a model state for crony capitalism. Let me read out from the proceeding of Lok Sabha. Shri Chandubhai Dabi Karjan asked on 29th February 2012, अदानी ग्रुप की कंपनियों को 31 दिसंबर 2011 तक कच्छ जिले में कितने एकड़ जमीन दी गई? उत्तर 14,305 एकड़। ये जमीन किस दर पर आवंटित की गई? उत्तर इन जमीनों का आवंटन 1 रुपया प्रति स्क्वायर मीटर से 32 रुपया प्रति स्क्वायर मीटर की दर से हुआ है। अगला सवाल, मुद्रा कंपनी को 14,52,765 एकड़ जमीन 4 रुपए प्रति मीटर की दर से दी गई। ये गजब का मॉडल है। उत्तर प्रदेश का किसान, particularly Banaras kisans are looking at this question and asking for answer. But Shri Modi came like a superman. He came in a helicopter, flew away in a helicopter. Whereas people are asking on the ground, what is the answer for large-scale underdevelopment of places like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar and so-called Bimaru India? And it needs only Swaraj model. We also want to know where the money is coming from.
Okay, fine.
For all this campaigning.
Zafar Sareshwala, I think what Professor Kumar is referring to is, in a sense, what others have also said, that a lot of the essential questions are not being answered simply because everybody, the media included, seems to be overwhelmed by the Modi wave, or the way, the manner in which he is projecting himself, or the manner in which the BJP projects him. He's raised several issues, including sweet land deals. These questions never get answered. In the way this campaign is going and it's being addressed, it's not, these issues are not being answered. Let me ask Zafar Sareshwala that. Go ahead.
See, Vishnu, I think that mudslinging should happen between Congress and BJP, but I have a very larger issue for the Congress gentlemen. You know, Vishnu, in 1947, after independence, if you take the Muslim community and measure them in all the economic indicators of education, health, per capita income, in 65 years, the condition of Muslims has gone below Dalits and scheduled tribes. I want to ask Mr. Keshwan, was BJP there around for 52 years? You have systematically annihilated everything which was Muslim and Islamic in the country. You reduced Urdu language totally, naming it to be a Muslim language, although it was a Hindustani language. For 65 years, you have reduced Muslims to nothing. Even national leaders like Maulana Azad, Rafi Ahmad Kidwai are totally out of your focus. In fact, it was Mr. Modi who remembered Maulana Azad 1.5 years back. So, what are you talking? The resentment with Muslim community is with you.
Oh, please.
What have you done for 65 years? You have reduced Muslims worse to Dalits. Their condition has deteriorated in every single economic indicator. And every time during election you remember Muslims. Don't cheat on Muslims now. Again you came up today with 4.5%. You think Muslims are so foolish that they'll believe your falsehood?
Vishnu.
We have already, Muslims have answered Salman Khurshid in last UP election. His wife, she even lost her deposit. So don't fool Muslims now.
Let's not
talk of real things,
let's hear Keshwan answer.
And you dare not talk about
Zafar Sareshwala, let him answer.
The Congress,
lots of points.
The Congress party. Vishnu, let me answer.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Vishnu, let me answer.
Yeah.
Vishnu, let me answer. Vishnu, it was the Congress party who gave Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed. It was the Congress party which gave Zakir Hussain to this country. Which was the Congress party who, who ensured that Maulana Azad performed scintillatingly well as an education minister. Don't, sir, I didn't interrupt, sir, when you spoke. Sir, I didn't interrupt. Sir, kindly, sir, I didn't interrupt when you spoke, sir.
Let him answer. You raise points, let him answer.
Kindly have the courteous. Kindly be civil. Kindly be civil. Kindly be civil. Kindly be civil, sir. Kindly be civil. Kindly be civil. Listen to our argument, sir.
Don't give false comparisons.
Vishnu, ask them to be civil.
Mr. Sareshwala,
No, please. You talked about persons.
You made lots of points. Let him answer the points that you have raised. Go ahead. Yes.
No. Vishnu, this is the problem. They are very defensive. They don't even have the tolerance to listen now. The BJP supporters and, the BJP. I'm happy Prakash Javadekar ji is very calm. I respect him for that. But why can't they hear us out? And there was a 15-point minority program by the Prime Minister implemented in 2008.
Because you are talking falsehood.
And in Gujarat it was not implemented.
Talk the facts. You only
talk please check up your records, sir.
Don't talk about
check up your records. It had to go to the Supreme Court.
What you have done in 65 years for Muslims.
Please let me Vishnu, you have to rein him in, Vishnu.
No. Mr. Keshwan, we are hearing your point. We are hearing your point. Go ahead and complete it. We are listening to what you are saying.
No, I can't hear myself because you're shouting, sir.
Okay, carry on.
No. What I'm saying is this. I think these are unfounded allegations. No. Even there was a 15-point minority program by the Prime Minister, which was not implemented. Scholarships, which was not implemented in Gujarat. It had to go up to the Supreme Court. They didn't implement it. It was all for all the minorities. Buddhists, Christians, Sikhs, Parsis, everybody. It was not implemented. So let us not get into the debate. All I'm trying to sum up here is this. See, they want to have a facade of development which they are not willing to talk about. And they are on a silent way, their agenda is to mobilize by polarization. We want to talk about development, and every time, the Togadiyas or, Giriraj, it's hate ventriloquism, it's feeble echoes. Why don't they talk about development? Let them have a debate on the Gujarat model.
I think this
Let them come and debate.
All right.
Why are they not shying away? Why are they shying away?
I think this is an important opportunity for me to actually move into another part of the debate. And I just want to refer to the role of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra at this stage. A lot of people would say that from a Congress standpoint, she's coming into this campaign in a big way, perhaps a bit too late. But she has made a couple of important statements, and she's been taking on Narendra Modi directly. Narendra Modi had referred to the RSVP culture of the Congress. Today she said ABCD, RSVP, this is what some parties say. They aren't addressing a primary school. Dr. Radhakumar, how important is it for the Congress at this stage to use Priyanka Gandhi? What is it that she brings into the campaign which perhaps Rahul Gandhi has not done so far?
I think that of the public political speakers, she is one of the most natural and therefore appealing. Now, I can't comment on the timing, frankly, because I also am rather mystified about, the role at this point in time. But I would say that watching her on television and watching her speeches, she has some sort of chemistry with her audience, which is very refreshing to watch.
Sudhindra Kulkarni, would you agree? Would you agree, Sudhindra Kulkarni, that at this stage of the campaign, given the fact, and I think it's been fairly widely reported, that the Congress is at a certain level downbeat, the presence of Priyanka Gandhi adds a certain impetus at this stage. She is taking on Modi directly. Rahul Gandhi has thus far rarely taken on Modi in quite the same manner in which she has. For example, her husband's land deals. We haven't heard Rahul Gandhi refer to these, but she doesn't seem to have a problem saying what she has to say.
What is surprising is that Priyanka Gandhi, who certainly, has a certain personality and a way of communicating that appeals to large number of people, she appears only once in 5 years in defense of the Congress party. At a time when the Congress is certainly in a bad shape, what it shows is that it again has to resort to a family for revival. The basic problem of the Congress party is that it is too family centric. It has not nurtured, it has not developed leaders in various states, as a result of which state after state the Congress is diminishing, and now once again the party thinks that the family will be the savior. Now this mentality the Congress party has to come out of. It has to make a very serious introspection.
But at the end of the day, Mr. Kulkarni, isn't it essentially the same?
The large states.
I mean, you talk about the role of the family. At this stage, the BJP is about the one. So you're limiting the number of people involved in decision making. Everybody is.
No, the BJP has its own problems, and in some ways even the BJP, the kind of family oriented politics is creeping even into the BJP. No party is completely immune, but here we are talking about the Congress party, which at least in this election, Congress is a highly resilient party. It may get defeated this time, but it will certainly bounce back next time. But the larger issue is, why is Priyanka Gandhi appearing on the scene only once in 5 years?
Okay.
This is...
I want to ask Mr. Keshavan that question.
Priyanka Gandhi herself to decide.
Mr. Javadekar, one moment. Let Mr. Keshavan come in. In fact, there was a statement by...
This is not correct, Vishnu. Here, you are allowing all others to make comment against Modi, BJP and everything. And you are every time giving opportunity to Kesavan and not to me. This is not correct. So I am taking the opportunity. Let me clarify.
So go ahead, sir. Speak, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Javadekar.
Yes, the issue is very clear that whom to project is a Congress's prerogative and it's their internal affair. Now they can project anybody, but it will not impact elections. First, it's a tacit admission that Rahul has not clicked, he has failed. Second, she is saying that my family is being attacked. Practically, she is making virtue out of corruption. Nobody is attacking the personal. Nobody is raising personal issue. We are raising the issue of corruption. How the Haryana government converted the land use once the ownership changes and immediately 8 crore land becomes 58 crore. So this is the formula. This formula people want to know.
Okay.
Youth of this country want to know.
Okay, Mr. Javadekar, I'm out of time. Let Mr.
And
Keshavan,
therefore,
yes,
unless she answers,
yes,
in the eyes of the public,
Vishnu, quick 2
there
points,
is no credibility of whatsoever.
All right, Mr. Keshavan, go ahead. It is a fair point that he makes.
2 points.
She needs
First
to give
about
longer
Mr.
answers. She needs to
points.
clarify
Mr. Vadra
these
and
issues
then why
beyond just
Priyanka ji-
rhetoric. Go ahead, Mr. Keshavan.
No, I'll tell you. See, there are 2 things. First, I'll answer about Mr. Vadra, and second, I'll answer about why Srimati Priyanka Gandhi comes only in every 5 years, as it was alleged. First thing is, there was a PIL in the Supreme Court about Mr. Robert Vadra's land deals, and the Supreme Court has turned it down, and it said, if somebody is related to politicians, they're not sinners. That settles that. If they have problems in Rajasthan, as they're alleging, Rajasthan is their government, they can go ahead and take action. Congress always stands for upholding the rule of law. Having said that, I'll come back to Srimati Priyanka Gandhi. Srimati Priyanka Gandhi has very clearly said she is confining herself to Amethi and Raebareli. The problem is that the press is seeing so much of interest in this, and they pick up what she says in these 2 constituencies where she is confined herself for the time being, and the BJP is panicking. The BJP is nervous every time she makes a statement. Today, Srimati Priyanka Gandhi talked about development and farmers, and the BJP is nervous. They attack her personally. Why are you nervous? She's just confined herself to 2 constituencies. I think this nervousness is because the plan is not failing, and I'll tell you this, Vishnu. 2004 it was India Shining, they failed. 2009 it was Advani ji and Rogue Purush, they failed. 2014 is Modi ji, and it will be a hat trick of hit wicket, and the BJP will be humbled by the people of India.
Mr. Javadekar, you want to reply to some of that? The fact is, you are taking Priyanka Gandhi Vadra seriously.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what she has said, what Congress is saying always. What is their story? Adani was given land at 1 rupee. Wrong. Adani was, correct. Adani was given land at ₹1, last tract of land. But who gave it? Shankar Singh Waghela government, supported by Congress. So that's the fact.
Will you take it back from Adani now?
Number 2, 1 minute. 1 minute. I'm now going ahead. Why? This is just the beginning. The issue is every state has a land policy or industrial policy by which they want to attract investment in industry to grow their GSDP, to grow their income, to grow their tax income, and to grow their employment.
Okay.
And that is what development indicators say. And every state has a policy of attracting by offering various kinds of concession. What is important is whether that has been utilized for that industrial purpose or not, and whether the policy is transparent or not.
Okay.
Nobody is raising issue
right,
about
Mr. Javadekar,
policy transparency or its implementation. 1 minute. Why they are raising such issues?
Okay.
I will tell you, in Maharashtra, where there is a Congress government for years together, they have given land for free for various industries.
All right. Look,
Not
Mr.
even 1 rupee.
Javadekar, we could
This
debate
is not the issue.
the land dealings in various parts of our country. The only reason that I must wrap up this program is
first, one sentence, 1 minute. I am just saying we are ready for debate for land for industries versus land for personal profits.
Okay.
We are
Fair
ready
enough.
land versus land.
Fair
Let
enough.
us discuss.
A larger debate on land dealings. Thank you all very, very much for joining us. This is this program, unfortunately, has to abide by certain time commitments. That's the way television goes. I'd like to thank all of you very much for joining us. It's time now for us to take this short break.